Hello and welcome. This short video is an answer to one of the most common related searches to myself and my work. Today we will be answering the question, what is Sul'voth? So please, light some candles, take a seat, and grab your most precious of tones to record your thoughts in. For those of you who might not know me, I am Sul'voth. I am the creator and the voice of the Sul'voth language. Some of you may have been following me for quite some time, and for that you have my deepest gratitude. For those who are new, perhaps you have seen my art around, or one of my videos has popped up on a number of your feeds. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me. This is by no means a video on the linguistics of Sul'voth. Currently, I am working on something very special. As we approach the 10-year anniversary, I plan to give a full view at the history of this project. From the early years, the early days of scrawled symbols, to the first words, to the multitude of pages of explorations to find the perfect symbols to become the runes of Sul'voth. For the last 10 years, I have dedicated my artistic and spiritual efforts to creating a language like no other. This language would come to be known as Sul'voth. As an artist, this project has enthralled me for the last decade. If you know any of my artwork, or you simply glance around the space here, you will see that everything is covered in runes. These runes themselves are the product of much personal and artistic exploration, each bearing a sacred name, a sacred aspect, and a multitude of meanings and ways to work with, from divination to artistic exploration. The simplest answer to the question of what is Sul'voth is that it is a language, an arcane tongue meant to adorn the halls of temples and also your most personal of arcane spaces. The central design philosophy for Sul'voth was different than other languages. It was designed an alphabet, symbols, and an essence of sound before the vocabulary formed. These doctrines shaped the construction of the language, how the language functions, and I'll be excited to go into those as we come closer to the grand release of the language itself. You see, Sul'voth has become more than just an artistic project. Much of my inspiration and much of the decisions that I have made are the result of my intensive meditative practice. In many of these meditations, I travel to a place some of you may be familiar with known as the Void. It is here that the magic of these runes truly comes to fruition. It is also here that I've spent much of my time closely meditating on each rune to understand its essence, its very being. These experiences have shaped what the runes have become. As such, the other answer to what is Sul'voth is a philosophy, an arcane tradition. These runes and these words have woven themselves so deeply that I simply can't imagine doing any sort of arcane workings without them. Perhaps the next most common question would be, can you learn Sul'voth? That answer is a little bit more complicated. The answer I'd like to give is soon. You see, this project is deeply, deeply personal to me, and as such I have been perhaps a little too precious with it. Living in a realm with such a vast online space, it is scary to put out something so personal into the ether of the internet, not knowing where it will reach and how people will view it or what they will do with it. Some of these concerns have had me keep things locked away, and as we approach the 10th anniversary of the beginning of this journey, the beginning of Sul'voth, I find myself seeking to release more of the language. Up until now, there is only one book on Sul'voth, It is not a book on the linguistics, the language itself, but on the runes. From any number of my social media pages, you will see my card link. By following that, you will be able to see a link to the Dirokvul. This is the book of the Sul'voth runes. It has detailed meanings and descriptions of each rune in Sul'voth, what they represent, what aspects they possess, and should you wish to create a set of runes for yourself to read in a divinatory practice, the information on what the runes mean in a reading is also there. Should you have any other questions, please leave them down below and I will do my best to attend to them. And I thank you again dearly for taking some time out of your day to research. I'm sure the runes will find their way to those who seek their insights and power.